Switzerland is often seen as a peaceful, neutral, and stable country. The image helped it become one of the most powerful financial centers in the world. But behind that clean reputation was a system built on secrecy, hidden money, and deals with some of the worst regimes on earth. For decades, Switzerland made it easy for rich people, politicians, and even dictators to keep money out of sight. The country said it was protecting privacy, but in reality, it often protected dirty money too. That sometimes banks ended up holding money that nobody ever came back to claim. Switzerland's rise started with one big idea: secrecy. In 1934, the Swiss Banking Act made it a crime for bank workers to share client information without permission. That meant people could trust Swiss banks to keep their money private. At first, this looked like a strong business move. Wealthy clients from all over the world wanted that level of privacy. They saw Switzerland as a safe place to store their money. But secrecy also had a darker side. It made it easier for people to hide money from taxes, hide stolen wealth, and protect assets gained through corruption. Swiss banks became known as a place where money could disappear from public view. Over time, Swiss banks became famous for holding money from suspicious sources. Many dictators, corrupt officials, and powerful families used Swiss accounts to hide wealth taken from their own countries. Money that should have helped schools, hospitals, roads, and people instead ended up sitting in secret bank accounts. This included money linked to leaders from places like Congo, Nigeria, Haiti, and the Philippines. In many cases, the money came from theft, bribery, or abuse of power. Swiss banks often said they were just following the law and did not always check where the money came from. But the excuse did not make people trust them more. To many critics, it looked like Switzerland was helping dirty money stay safe. That is where the phrase business is business becomes important. The country made money even when the money came from very, very bad people. Switzerland did not just store money for dictators, it also did business with countries that many other nations avoided. Swiss banks handled accounts, companies traded with restricted markets, and some Swiss firms sold goods to governments that were widely criticized. For Switzerland, this was profitable. The country kept saying it was neutral and only focused on trade and finance. It avoided taking sides. But neutrality has a cost. When you do business with brutal regimes, you may be helping them survive longer. This is why many people saw Switzerland as a country that put profit above morality. Another issue was money that stayed in Swiss bank for so long that nobody knew who it belonged to anymore. Sometimes the owner died, sometimes the family disappeared, sometimes the account was just forgotten. Swiss law created rules for dormant accounts, meaning accounts that had no activity for many years. In some cases, if nobody claimed the money after a very long time, the money could eventually go to the Swiss state. This became especially sensitive because of World War II. Many Jewish families accused Swiss banks of making it too hard to find accounts belonging to victims of the Holocaust. That caused major outrage and forced Switzerland to deal with the issue. Later, Switzerland made some changes and helped return some of that money, but the whole situation damaged its reputation for years. Over time, the world started pushing back against Swiss secrecy. Other countries wanted tax information. Investigators wanted stolen money returned. Pressure kept growing, and Switzerland had to respond. It made several changes. It cracked down harder on secrecy violation. It agreed to share more tax information with foreign governments. It joined global reporting systems. It made it easier to freeze and return stolen dictator money. These reforms showed that the old system could not survive forever. Switzerland could no longer hide behind secrecy like before. Still, many people believe the country moved only when the pressure became too strong to ignore. Switzerland built its financial power on trust, privacy, and neutrality. But over time, those same qualities made it a magnet for hidden money, corrupt leaders, and stolen wealth. Its banks protected the rich, the powerful, and sometimes the guilty, even when the money came from suffering, theft, or abuse. The system kept running. When a country says business is business, the real question is business for who?